Okay, so I wanted to give a quick mention of people taking supplements, different types of herbs or mushrooms for increasing their immune health and for fighting viruses. I don't want to make this a sales pitch, but I do want to pitch really quick this idea of supporting the immune system versus fighting an infection. We don't want to get these two things confused. So unless someone knows that they are sick with something like a virus, like coronavirus, COVID-19, even the common cold or the flu, you don't want to be using antiviral drugs. You don't want to be using antiviral herbs, mushrooms, or supplements. Those are very hard on the body, and they're going to weaken the body. They are the last resort. They're the big guns. We don't want to wage war on ourselves. What we do want to do is support ourselves. And that's where sleep and stress come in. They're the 95% that's going to get you to having kind of an ideal optimum immune system. Sleep and stress. One big thing we can do to kind of increase our quality of our sleep and decrease our stress is acting with intention and not reacting to whatever is coming at us. We can take that breath before we speak. We can take that moment to kind of integrate what we're hearing, and then we can own our actions. We can own our intentions, and that's going to have the cumulative effect of reducing stress. By reducing stress, we're going to increase the quality of sleep that we're having. We're going to lower cortisol, and that's all going to greatly benefit the immune system. From there, when we're talking about that last 5%, we want to be looking at medicinal mushrooms. Be careful when you're buying them. You don't want to be using raw or unprocessed medicinal mushrooms just because they're not available to the body. Any kind of wild mushroom, any kind of real medicinal mushroom is going to take a large amount of processing to break down the chitin, the cell walls of the mushroom, so that it's digestible and so you can assimilate it into the body. So powdered extracts are great for that. You also want to be sure that you're looking at wild harvested, organic, and also that you're selecting products that are made from the fruiting body of the mushroom and not the mycelium. The mycelium is a bit of a waste product, and a lot of the times it's going to be a very low percentage of the mycelium to the growth medium that it's being grown in. A lot of times that's brown rice fiber, so you don't want to be buying kind of waste product that's combined with brown rice fiber. You want to be using the fruiting bodies. So just be sure if you're buying something off the shelf at the health food store, if you're ordering something online, that it is an extract that's ready to use, that it's made from the whole fruiting body and not the mycelium. Then I want to talk real quick about strategies for kind of combating an illness once you get it. So there you might start looking at the antivirals. I know Stephen Buhner has an article up on his Facebook that talks about that antiviral approach. Remember that when we're looking at antivirals, when we're looking at antimicrobials from an herbal perspective, these are really just kind of plant analogs of a lot of the drugs that we're able to get from the pharmacy, from the doctor, and these are waging war on the body. They're the last resort. We don't want to be bringing in the kind of the war machinery unless the infection requires it. You know, we want to kind of meet our bodies with a more supportive, a more kind of compassionate, a more self-love perspective than just kind of blasting it with antibiotics, antivirals, even if those are herbs, even if they are natural. They're serving the same purpose, right? When we're worried about our microbiome, our gut health, an antibacterial herb is not able to discriminate between the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. That's a myth. Just like an antibiotic can't discriminate between a good bacteria and a bad bacteria. So don't rush into taking any kind of antiviral herb or drug as we are worried about infection from COVID-19 or really anything. We want to be supporting first. If we do get sick, then we can look at the herbal antivirals, herbal antibiotics. the big guns. We do not want to wage war with our bodies unless it is kind of a drastic situation that's bad for our health. Of course, if we have an infection that is compromising our health, well, then it might be warranted. But if we don't, it is only harmful and there's no benefit to it. So just to recap real quick, lower your stress and improve the quality of your sleep. Number one, it's going to get you 95% there. The last 5%, think about supporting the body. Medicinal mushrooms are going to be the golden ticket here. You want to be looking for products that are prepared. You do not want to be buying raw, even if it's powdered raw mushrooms. You want to be using ones that are extracted, that maybe they'll say ready to use. That means they're going to be digestible and assimilatable by your body. You want to be looking at organic, wild harvested. You want to be buying the whole fruiting body. Again, that's going to be an extract, a whole fruiting body over the mycelium. The mycelium is largely a waste product that is full of the kind of the growth medium that it was grown in, like brown rice flour. If you are sick, then you can look towards the herbal antivirals. If you're not, do not take them. They're not good for you. They're only good for killing an infection. They have a very specific, a very targeted function, and that function is not supporting health. That function is killing an infection. You're not going to be served by killing an infection that you don't have. So again, act with intention, own your actions, do not react to what's coming at you, even if it seems like it's coming from an authoritative source. Be wise. Together we're going to get through this, and ultimately we're going to be better prepared for what comes to us next.